Hello, worship team. Thanks for taking a few minutes today to check out this video. These are your rehearsal notes for Sunday, June 8th, 2025. Let's jump into Planning Center and take a look at what we have planned for this coming weekend. This is going to be part 2 of our summer series called The Questions of Jesus. And this week we'll be in John chapter 5, discussing the question, do you want to get well? The whole service is being kind of designed and built around this theme. And so let's walk through all of the different elements that we have here that kind of tie all of this together. So first of all, we're going to do a brand new song in the pre-service spot called The Joy. This is by The Belonging Co. and it's part of our summer song list. If you haven't checked out the summer song list, you can hop over to all the streaming platforms and do so, or go over to fpmaryville.org/music and take a look at it there. So The Joy, this is key, looking at the key of B flat right now, led by Nate. We're still kind of narrowing in on the key there. Once you see, also here in Planning Center, once you see a song finalized with its key, you'll see in brackets, I always put key finalized. So once you see that, you'll know that B flat is the final key there. Original key of D flat, aiming for B flat. It's called The Joy. The original is like 7.5 minutes long too. I've cut it down to 4 minutes and 48 seconds. If you go to the attachments here and you look at the arrangement, the attachment for the arrangements, there is a recording here called The Joy, and then in parentheses, it's called Short Edit. Listen to that for the sequence. I've updated the sequence here so that, what you see in Planning Center under the arrangement info matches what you're going to hear in the track eventually. So have a listen to that. I'll also put a track in there that matches this short edit. Right now, the only tracks that are there are the ones that automatically pull over from multi-tracks. But by the time you see this video and by the time you're starting to work on this, there will be a track called The Joy rehearsal track in whatever key we decide to do. And that one will be the short edit that we're doing. So just keep that in mind as you prepare. We're not doing the full 7-minute and 30-second version of it. And essentially what we're doing here is there are 3 repeats of the intro, and I'm doing 2 times through the intro. And then coming out of the bridge, there is kind of this long refrain section with lots of O's. You've probably figured out by now, I'm not a huge O fan, so we're shortening that down. And we're going straight from the bridge back into the chorus and then to the end. They kind of ramp back up into a reprise, and we're cutting that reprise at the end. So those are the editing moves that we've made, which will be reflected there in that first track. We'll then go straight from that to House of the Lord, led by Elizabeth, aiming for the key of D. And then Cindy will be up for our welcome and greeting time. And then immediately following that, we'll go into our 25 and 25. So this is Ephesians 4:31 through 32 from the NLT. That's the one we'll say together this Sunday morning. Next up, we'll do 2 songs, All I Have Is Christ, led by Nate, and Only a Holy God, led by Elizabeth. And then last weekend, Tom had the congregation submit prayer cards at the end of the service. Those will be prayed over during this time, this congregation praise section here between the music and the message. Now, there may be a possibility that we change the order slightly on this. We may swap Only a Holy God with the congregation praise section. It won't change anything as far as how you prepare, but just keep an eye on that in Planning Center. There may possibly be a swap there. For now, we're going to do the 2 songs, the prayer, and then go straight into the message. We will then have our short series bumper and go into our message. And then following the message, we're aiming to do Yet Not I, But Through Christ in Me, key of C, led by Elizabeth. His word, last word, and then we will be finished. Finally, today, I'd like to send a big thank you to those of you who stayed yesterday to help clear the stage after the last service in order to prepare for VBS, which is coming up next week. This weekend's setup is going to be a lot smaller. We'll be kind of in the middle of the stage like we typically are this week leading up to VBS. We'll have kind of a stripped down drum set, a bass spot, acoustic guitar, and then keys. Horn section, you guys will have the weekend off. And following that last service on Sunday morning, we will pull all of that equipment off stage as well so that we can be prepared for a fun, full week of VBS and Fuel. Also, we are on our regular rehearsal schedule this week. Vocals, 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m. this Wednesday night in my office. We'll rehearse. Rhythm section will begin at 7:15 a.m. on Sunday morning, and everyone else will jump in at 7:30. Have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Take care.